Hi, I'm Justine Gandolfo from 3D Performance Horses, located in Santa Rosa, California, here at Double Bar M Ranch, and I'm here to show you how to fit your Western bit. So here we have our standard snaffle. One of the things you want to check for is anything that could pinch the corners of your horse's mouth. Also, you want to make sure the edges are smooth, that there's no snags or no rough spots. So I have the bit sitting lightly in the corners of her mouth. She has just barely a wrinkle, as you can see. If I pull the sides of the bridle out, you can see they're not tight, but they're not really floppy either. You don't want them sloppy. If the bit's too low in the horse's mouth, then there's a chance that your horse is going to get their tongue over the bit and it can knock against their teeth and cause discomfort. If you have the bit too high up in the mouth, like this, then there's constant pressure on the corner of the horse's mouth, and what we want the horse to do is pick up the bit on their own and carry it. You want the bit to rest on the bars of the horse's mouth, which is that section of the gum behind the front teeth that's readily visible when you open the horse's mouth. The other thing you need to pay attention to is the width of your horse's bit. Her lips kind of are able to flare out. They meet right at the edge. This bit just fits her. A bit that's too narrow, like if I were to pretend this is too narrow, like this, is uncomfortable for the horse. It can cause them to be pinched. You can take a simple piece of string, a piece of yarn, put it across the horse's mouth where the bit would go, and just kind of mark the corners of the lips right up to the lips, and then take it out and use a measuring tape or a ruler and measure it and add 1/4 inch. When you go to fit a shanked bit, I like it to sit a little bit lower than I do a snaffle. As you can see, there's not even a wrinkle. It's just resting at the corners of his mouth. It's not hanging below like that, as you can see, but it's not pulled up either. Every horse's mouth is a little bit different. Some horses have higher palates, some have lower palates, that being the roof of their mouth. If you don't know your horse's mouth very well, it's best not to use a very high port bit or anything that's very tall, because your horse could have a low roof to his mouth and that would be uncomfortable for him. Some signs that the bit that your horse is wearing is not comfortable or is causing discomfort to your horse can be your horse is taking off, your horse is leaning on the bit, your horse could carry his chin tucked to his chest, getting behind the bit, or your horse could carry his head too high with his nose up in the air, gaping his mouth, sticking his tongue out. These are all signs that you do not have a properly fitting bit. Now, they could also be training problems, but before you get into that, you want to, of course, rule out that it's not something as simple as a change of equipment that is needed.